Hello, I'm Peter Posen, and this is In Between. In Between is a segment not so much about being in between work and having nothing to do, but in between the two great civilizations. Israel was a land bridge on the very end of the Fertile Crescent. The crescent stretches from Babylon all the way to Egypt. And you had to pass through this area in order to get to Egypt. So that's why we call Israel the land in between the two empires. And you had a lot of armies going from Babylon to Egypt or from Egypt to Babylon, and they all passed through this area on the very end of the Fertile Crescent. The Fertile Crescent is a area where you have rain coming down, which is north of the Arabian Desert. And so this is the land of in-between. Today we're at Ramat Rachel, and we're going to be talking a little bit about construction of ancient buildings. This was believed to be an Assyrian administration building, and then later on it became a royal palace, possibly in like 3 different time periods during the time of the kings of Judah. And then in the 2nd century there was an attempt at reconstruction of the area when the Byzantines were here. And so you have remnants of a Persian palace, remnants of a possible Assyrian administration, and a Judean king. Little controversy about the actual structure. Right here, we are in a large area which was a courtyard. And this large area is surrounded by large buildings. And when you have large buildings, you know it's not just a village house. It has to be administration or a palace or a temple, something of importance, not just a standard house. So we have massive walls here, and we have a lot of archaeology dealing with the various periods. So we're going to do a little walk around, and we'll talk about some of the structure and some of the history of Ramat Rachel. So as we go in around the courtyard here we have some of these carvings in the stone. Three of them here. So give you an overview of the courtyard. Very large courtyard. And to the east there's another smaller courtyard. In the Roman period, as we're coming here towards the north, we have a large house that was built during the Roman period. This was the large house during the Roman period. And next to that was an area where there was a large tower in an earlier period during one of the palaces. Here are some of the walls of the Byzantine construction. And out in this area is the other courtyard. So this is a large, massive structure built over centuries, 2,700 years of construction on this hill. We are on a hill south of the old city and overlooking Bethlehem. Now, we are facing the south towards Bethlehem. Off in the densest in the hills there, going towards Hebron and the Negev. So here we are, some of our wall construction. Let me go out. Okay, so this type of structure is called casemate. Casemate meaning that you have a double wall. Here's the wall on this side, and there's the wall on that side, and then you have a series of walls going in between, making compartments. So you've got a series of compartments. Sometimes these compartments are filled with rock and rubble. Sometimes people cut doorways into this area and use it for storage for their houses. They would construct their houses, of course, up against the wall, and they would utilize this empty space. So why did they make casemate walls? Well, when battering rams came into existence, the casemate wall doubled the size of the wall, made it much bigger, and made it more difficult for the battering rams to enter into the city. Another type of structure here is called header stretcher. As you can see, you have a stone going this way, and then you have a stone going this way. And they crisscross the stones to reinforce the structure and make it stronger. So we have two examples here of the header stretcher, and the casemate. Now the header stretcher construction was used in this area, and then in Babylon, in the northern Canaanite tribes, they would place several layers of stone, and then on top of that they would make timber, integrated interlocked timber, and then they would add another layer of stone on top of the timber, and then do like 2 or 3 courses, and then they would make another layer of timber. You know, up in Lebanon there's a lot of trees, and the reason why they used the timber, because they had a lot of trees, of course, but also it gave the wall flexibility. When the battering rams rammed against them, the walls would give and not crack. So it was a technique that was used up north, but not so much here in Israel. As we are looking here, we're overlooking a very large pool and various cisterns. Right below us is another pool. We have a whole water system carrying water from one place to another. Here is a artistic rendition of what the villa might have looked like. There you see the various pools in the building. And this is back in the 7th century, the Royal Garden. Here we come into some more cisterns, and right below us is a drainage system. See you channeling the water out from there. And over there you see another entrance to a cistern. They've got that blocked off so people don't fall down inside. So this is the Royal Garden. Part of some more structure. Right above here is an old houses and buildings of Byzantine period. There are more ruins to be dug up. They certainly are not finished with the archaeology here. Just to remind that this is Ramat Rachel, which is a kibbutz. And these are the ruins outside of the kibbutz. So, off into this area you can see the New Jerusalem in the far distance, looking north. Here we're coming down to a series of cisterns and mikvah. Now mikvahs are those places where you do your ritual bath, cleanse yourself. Here's some more water gathering device. As you can see, there was a large system of waters. Now the cisterns would catch rainwater off of the roofs and store them for the year. But there were also aqueducts. We have an aqueduct system that goes all the way from the south of Bethlehem all the way to the old city. Here is a mikvah right here. You see the steps going down, and inside will be the pools of the water. And that's right below the Roman baths. Now here are some more examples of a casemate wall. You see the various compartments. Like I said, some people would turn some of these empty spaces into storage. And mostly they would fill it with debris and make it more difficult for the siege equipment to attack the city. Well, look at here, we're back into the large plaza. Above that is a modern water tower. So that concludes our tour of Ramat Rachel ruins, just up here on the hill between Bethlehem and the old city of Jerusalem.